Hey everybody, welcome to another Indie Dev Lounge by Classic Gaming Brothers. I'm Seth.
And I'm Zach.
And I'm Barry.
And you're Barry.
And you're Barry. And Barry has been in our studio before, so he's used to the mess of paperwork everywhere and scrambling to get things turned on. We swear that Barry actually came into the office, into the studio, and all the lights were off, and he thought he was not supposed to be there that day. And really, Zach and I were evicted, so we were down the hall squatting in another office.
That's what happens.
It explains so much.
It feels like the last time you were here, it feels like it was yesterday. We didn't do the sitcom flashback.
Yesterday.
It does. To think it's been like what, 6 months? And that's crazy.
Almost on, yeah.
That's crazy.
It's almost on 6 months.
Clearly that tells me we've got to do this more often.
That's right. Well, hey, as long as Premium Edition keeps putting out games, we're going to keep doing this. So just promise us there'll be more series and then you'll be on.
Maybe we'll rebrand this as the Premium Edition Lounge. Or, the Indie Dev Lounge brought to you by Premium Edition.
I like it.
Ooh, get the branding deal.
I like
it. We could get one of your signs up above our studio over the lounge area of the studio. You can't be the entire. It's like the Dunkin' Donuts Center,
It's this little section.
Yeah, it's a little section.
See these two stools? They're brought to you by Premium.
Well, welcome Barry to our Indie Dev Lounge, and thank you again for joining us. For those of you who do not remember, Barry was in our episode 4 of the Indie Dev Lounge, where we brought him on to speak about Premium Edition Games, the company he works for, and Series 3, which was their release that they were doing at the time. I think we released it back in December 14th or so, and the Series 3 closed back in December 16th, and that was, Barry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm going off the old notes. Series 3 was Cathedral, Mighty Fight Federation, and Phenotopia Awakening, correct?
That is correct, yes.
We do pay attention sometimes, Barry.
You take good notes.
we take great notes. But so today Barry's on again. He's going to talk a bit to us about Series 4. Barry, do you want to take it away and tell us what's up and coming in this new series? What can people expect?
Sure. So just a couple nights ago, on the 2nd of May, we revealed our Series 4 in the Series 4 Direct, and so many great, wonderful people watched it, and some not so great people skimmed it, but that's okay. And some people didn't even get to see it, so hopefully you do get a chance.
I have it going on now. It's in the background.
There you go. See? That's like shots fired, damn it.
I was there, like the moon landing. I was there on day 1.
Yeah, so we released our Direct, and we came out and we told everybody what our Series 4 titles are. And we have 2 Series 4 titles this time. We have Wonderling DX, which is a platforming strategy puzzle style game with a little bit of auto runner, but there's a lot to it. There's a lot of depth. There's a lot of collectibles. It's a very big game. And what's cool is we've had this signed for a while, and they told us we're going to do all these editions, and we're like, we want to release the final version. That's what we did. We waited. They're like, all right, we're ready. We'll put it in Series 4. And we said, okay, this will be great. And that's why Wonderling DX is what's being released instead of Wonderling, because we wanted to make sure every release we do, that's the final version of the game. So you're getting all that added content. And then the second game is a game called Rain on Your Parade, which is a classic style like Katamari game where you play a cloud, which is like a cardboard cloud with strings attached to it, like it's just floating over the arena, and you go from level to level, and you have different objectives every level, and a lot of it's just to cause havoc, different things. And it's not just rain, you get like thunder and wind, and you get all these powers, and you get to really disrupt the environment and have fun with it. And there's like different bonus objectives, and you can play as much as you want, but there's also bonus levels based on other IP. There's like a Metal Gear Solid level, there's like a Zelda level, there's a lot of old school references to previous games. And what's cool, again, we talked to the developer when we signed it, and there's DLC for this. So we said, well, we want the DLC on the cart. So the DLC adds more levels, more challenges, more modes, developer commentary, all that stuff. And that's also going to be included on the cart. So when you get the Premium Edition version, you're going to get the entire game.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there was also some information that was released during your premiere regarding Demon's Tier?
Okay, so what we showed off regarding previous series is two of our team members, Josh and Sheena, they work for Gamers, and they run a charity called Gamers for Kids. And what that does is the charity, well, all the money goes to purchasing systems and TVs and equipment, going to like orphanages and children's homes and stuff like that, and setting up game rooms for the kids. This way they can have some fun and enjoyment in their life and build the next generation of gamers. So
Nice.
yeah, they do special variants for all of our games, and their variants, 20% of the purchase price of their games goes to the Gamers for Kids charity. So when you purchase one of their versions, that's what you do. You're actually helping a charity. So they launched with Demon's Tier Plus with the exclusive version. We had that available on our site in March, and now there's still copies left, but you can only get that at conventions. So you have to find them at a convention. We did reveal the Series 3 covers. So Phoenotopia, Cathedral, and Mighty Fight all have alternate covers, alternate slip covers, specifically for the Gamers for Gamers, and we revealed those, and those will go up at a later time. They haven't been released yet, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the same thing with Demons here. We're gonna have a limited number on the web page because we understand not everybody can travel to every convention. So we're gonna have a limited number on the web page. Once that's gone, and or a certain amount of time is hit, and then everything else at that point is convention exclusive. So that's something we're really proud to do, and Wonderling and Rain in Your Parade will follow that pattern too at a later time.
Nice.
That's really cool. I like that charitable aspect of the business of like giving back. It's always great to do.
And we do different covers because some people may just want the Gamers for Gamers and they get a special version, and then there's the variant hunters that want, why should they double dip? Well, at least you're getting a different cover. It's a different version of the game. So and this one goes to charity.
And now I know there was something else that was talked about in the Series 4 Direct. It kind of came right at the when you smacked that hype button. Do you want to share that news? Because that's also some
Absolutely.
pretty exciting news in my opinion.
Anything that's in the direct is fair game. It's public knowledge at this point. So what you're alluding to is a brand new series. We've been doing these series, series 1 to 4 now, and this is a brand new series. This is not series 5. This is a brand new series called the Classic series, the Premium Classic series. We showed off Volume 1, and what the Premium Classic series is it's a collection of aftermarket homebrew NES games. So these are games that are actually made for the NES. They run on the NES by just passionate developers out there that love the NES. So we took 10 of these games and we put them all together into one application. So you get to boot it up, you get to pick your game, you get little bonuses and stuff, all on the Nintendo Switch. So these games, these are just people who love Nintendo and would dream to get their game officially released on Nintendo, but Nintendo's not doing anything with the NES anymore. So this is their dream come true, and we're so happy to be able to do this for these talented and wonderful developers. So the games included in this is you got Ore Bodies, Binder's Tale, you got Nessie the Robot, Space Raft, Ninja 1 and 2, Kubo 3, Assimilate, Jester, Era the Crow Maiden, Doodle World, and Yaya BB's 2 are all included. And there's some bonus games that are included only on the
Nice.
cart as a bonus. These are extra things for people to find. We just want to do something special, and we're hoping that everyone enjoys it. The reception's been great, and you'll notice it says clearly on the cover Volume 1 because we have Volume 2 already in the works.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm really excited about that. I think I've played a little bit of Assimilate. I think I played a ROM many moons ago, and I've definitely heard about Yeah Yeah Beavis too, the John Riggs game. So that's awesome that you guys have those coming out, physically that you can have on the shelf.
Yep.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and you know what? We've heard from different people, say like, oh well, this game looks great in the collection, this one maybe not as much, or keep in mind these are NES games. These are games that run on the NES.
Right.
And whenever you buy a compilation, there's going to be some games that speak to you and some games that don't, and that's okay. You're getting a compilation, but all of these are passionate, developed games, and the developers have been nothing but wonderful to work with, and it's just truly an honor to be able to assist them this way. And we're really happy overall with the reception. And that's coming summer. That is not part of Series 4. That is not going out the same time as Series 4. That is going on after Series 4. So you don't have to worry about it right now. We don't have a date yet, so we're just keeping it summer right now. Summer 2022.
When I get the collection of the NES games, when I like boot it up, is it going to go to like a traditional menu and then I can just select it? Is there going to be like previews of like the different games, or how's that like?
So it's going to be one icon, and you boot it up, and it's going to bring you to a menu where the menu it's not finished yet, but the idea is it's going to be a retro room where you see like the NES and you see your TV, tube TV, and all that stuff, and the games are on the shelf, and you get to pick which one you want to pick up and put it into the NES, and then you play it.
That's gonna be cool.
not to jump too far in the future, we want to get back to Series 4, which is why you're here with us. Some exciting games coming for Series 4. I know Seth and I are familiar with Wonderling and Rain on Your Parade. It looks I was watching some gameplay footage of it just now, and it looks like a cute little game that definitely pulls, like, I think I saw the clip of like the Metal Gear Solid like codec popping up. I guess to level set our listeners who either don't remember the last Indie Jeff Lounge that we did with you, or who or didn't listen to it, or are new, can you tell us a bit about what comes with these games, for Series 4?
So all of our standard premiums for both games come with the same thing. You're going to get the full game on card. You're going to get a full color instruction manual, usually between 20 to 30 pages. You're going to get our premium challenge card with beautiful art on one side and a developer challenge on the other. And for those that don't know, the developer challenge is a challenge that the developer has tasked you to do should you accomplish the challenge. Submit it online, send us an email with your information and the link to the submission. As long as it's accurate and you've done the challenge, we will send you a physical patch in the mail for free per game. Just our way of saying, congratulations on accomplishing the challenge. You got your physical achievement. You also get the artwork. You get the actual inlay, but it's a double-sided inlay, so we always have artwork on the inside. We're not fans of the just plain white. You also get a slipcase, and our slipcases have improved since Series 1 and 2. And for those that will get Series 3, you'll see it, and Series 4 continues that. The Gamers for Gamers versions of Series 3 have it, and the Demons tier for Gamers for Gamers also have it. It's a thicker cardboard. It's matted, so it's got the matte finish, and it's got foil. So we really went ham with this. We upped the quality on all that. We wanted to really raise the bar. So both of those will be available on May 10th, so not too long. May 10th till June 10th, 4-week pre-order. It's open pre-order for these. It's not like, oh my god, I gotta get it in on the 10th. As long as you're in before June 10th, you're good. And these will be $49.95. Then we have our retro editions. Each one comes in a retro style box. It's an N64 or SNES size, whichever, they're the exact same, whatever resonates with you. And the game obviously is going to be in there. And then there's different things. So Wonderling has the original soundtrack, an enamel pin, and a vinyl sticker set. And the vinyl sticker set's like the Fathead stickers, so they're reusable.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
the inside of Wonderling's inlay is going to be kind of like a blank canvas. It's not going to be white. It's going to be like an environment. And you can use the stickers to make your own cover. And then you put that in. It's going to be your own exclusive custom cover on an official game, like a reversible cover.
That reminds me, what was that called? You could get those books back in like the 90s, I think, where they had the reusable stickers.
Color
I had
Forms.
a Star Wars one. Color Forms, that was it.
Yep.
Yeah, I had the Star Wars one.
And then Rain in Your Parade is going to have, again, the same style retro box. It's going to have vinyl cloud kit, so you can actually make your own little cloud. It's going to have an Angry Sun enamel pin and a thick, cloudy coaster. It's going to be a wooden coaster covered in art. It's going to look really cool. And these ones are both going to be available for $69.95. And one thing that we do have to state, and we started this with the Gamers for Gamers Demons tier, and we're going forward with this because the reception's been great, is we started doing dog tags. And each game is now getting their own dog tag. And if you pre-order, either version from our website and our website only, we will give you a dog tag for free corresponding to the game you pre-order. So you pre-order Wonderling, you're going to get a Wonderling one. Rain or Parade, you're going to get a Rain or Parade one. These dog tags were also pre-order bonuses for Series 3 from our site. So Cathedral, Mighty Fight, and Phenotopia will have them. Gamers for Gamers versions all have them as well as a bonus. And we're going to have on the website, when Series 4 goes up in May 10th, we're going to have Series 1 and 2 dog tags in a set with a chain that we're talking about now. So Super Blood Hockey, Pigeon Dev Games Collection, Demons Tier Plus, and Robot Name Fight. So you can go ahead and collect them all and have a chain walk around with all your premium game tags.
Nice. That'd be fun.
And they look good too. They're not dog tags like, oh, it's a dog tag with a sticker. Like the actual ink is printed into and engraved into the dog tag, and it's a two-sided dog tag.
It's probably a fun part of your job to like ideate on like swag that you can put into.
Oh, look at that!
That is a quality dog tag.
Nice. Listeners can't see it, but yeah.
Yes.
That's actually a prototype one. That's not the final, but that is a prototype. But you're right. It is fun to figure out different things. Now, when we're dealing with the retro editions, what we do is we ask the developers what they want and what they don't want. And as long as it fits in the box and it's not, stupid expensive, we're going to do it for them. So They tell us what they would like, and we try to make it happen. And if they don't have any idea, which has happened before, we start suggesting things. And if we suggest something and they say, "Oh, that," then that's what we do. We try and give the developers the additions that they want to have. And that's why each of our retro editions is different. Like they're the only two that are semi-identical is Pigeon Dev and Robot, because they both have steelbooks. Every other
Right.
one has different items in it, and that's because the developers have wanted different things in them, and so we do it.
That's cool. Yeah, it's you're really helping the developers make their best product.
That's what we're trying to do. We love talking with the developers. We love building relationships with the developers. We have a really good time. We have a Discord, so the developers are part of the Discords. They'll come in, they'll talk to people. It's all about bringing the developers and the customers together and really being that middleman, because that's how we do the challenge patches, right? So many people buy games and they never play them. I'm guilty of it. So we want people to say, buy the game. We love this game. We think you'll love this game. Open it up, play it, do the challenge.
Yeah, it's an extra incentive to actually play games.
Did you see our extra announcement in the direct? Because there was one more.
Oh,
Oh,
I think you might have us on a surprise
I
here.
think you did get the yeah.
Oh
I
my
think you have
God.
us.
Yeah, so we revealed Raji, an ancient epic. The enhanced edition is coming as part of Series 5. This is an amazing action adventure with a beautiful story. It's, Indian culture, deep rooted in the culture, and we're so honored to be able to bring this to the world physically, because it's a darling. It's a beautiful game, and a lot of people miss it because the eShop, it's flooded with games. And when we found out, we talked with them, they're like, well, we're doing an enhanced edition with added stuff. That they updated all the graphics. They added Indian as a language. They fixed some stuff. They tweaked some stuff. We're like, well, that's the version we want. We want that. So we went for it, and stars aligned, and now we're honored to be having that as a Series 5 title and being able to share it with everybody now. And that was a hard one to keep quiet about, let me tell you.
I can imagine. That's got kind of to me like almost like a Zelda-y vibe by just what I'm seeing.
It's almost like an isometric God of War in a sense.
That's probably closer to this, especially with some of these bosses that looks like you have to fight. That's very exciting. So that's prospectively Series 5.
Yes, it's Series 5.
Yes. Okay. Cool.
Some people were confused, like, oh, is that also Series 4? Like, no, like, we'll let you know if it's Series 4. Like, that was literally
Yeah.
just a tease, just as this is coming. We want you to know. We want to whet your appetite, pretty much, for what's ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. It gets people excited for what's coming.
Yeah. Do you have any initial ideas of what kind of swag may be included with it for the retro edition or anything like that? Any ideas?
Do I have ideas? Yes, because I've been privy to talks with the developers. Am I allowed to talk about said ideas? No, there's a difference.
Oh, okay.
I can tell you that the premium edition will come with our slipcase, and will come with a manual, and it will come with a challenge card and
Right.
inlay art. That I can tell you about, just like all our releases. There will be a patch,
good.
and there will be a pre-order keychain, or a dog tag, I mean.
I figured you couldn't reveal too many of your secrets.
And
Yeah, we gotta ask.
There will be a retro as well. Like, I can't tell you what's in it. But we are definitely working with the developers, as always, and they've got some great ideas, and they're very passionate.
Nice.
We do this stuff in advance, because everything for Series 4 is done. All that's left is production. All that's left is to order the stuff, and we just wait till closer to the pre-order window closes, so we know how many to order. So we're working right now with Series 5 and getting that stuff worked on, because we like to try and have it done in advance.
Do you guys have any concerns about some of like the supply chain issues and stuff like that have been going on?
It's an issue.
Yeah. I figured, yeah.
I mean, we have, everything is slowed down, right? Transportation is slowed down. We use freight shipping because a lot of our stuff is done overseas, and our stuff isn't done in one facility. And some people may think that. A lot of our stuff is coming from different facilities, like the cards are
Yeah.
coming from Nintendo, and the slipcases are coming from one place, and the manual is coming from another place, and the inlay art gets printed in another. So it all has to be transported to a central hub for assembly. So when those places are close, it's not so bad. But when those places are overseas, a lot of that is freight shipped.
Yeah, and it bottlenecks. If you're missing one thing, you're stuck.
That's one of the reasons why, as of the time of this recording, Robot Named Fight Deluxe hasn't shipped yet, but it will be shipping next week. They're in hand. They just arrived at our new warehouse. We had to switch warehouses. So it just arrived at our new warehouse, and it looks amazing. But the reason it took so long is because the book, because that comes with a guidebook in the Deluxe. The guidebook, the Neo Geo case, and the sleeve that it all goes into was done overseas, and it was
Right.
freight shipped because we had to ship remember it's like 500-600 of them. Like to put that on an airplane would cost so much because they're heavy books. So we had
Right.
to put it on a ship, and the ship took months. It was delayed, it was behind, and all we could do was tell people, "I'm sorry, it's coming. It's freight shipping. There's so little we could do because that everything is backed up with freight shipping. That the
Yeah.
canal issue screwed everything up, and these are things out of our hands, and we still, we apologize for them. So yes, the real world itself has had a negative effect on us between those type of delays and between price increases. Gas has gone up, so transporting all this stuff has gone up. Plastic has gone up, so you're talking not only the plastic case, but you're also talking the shrink wrap. Like all
Right.
that's
Right.
gone up, and we upgraded because that's one of the things we were discussing. We said with everything going up, we're going to have to increase our costs. We're going to have to increase our price. We don't want to, but we're going to have to because that's the real world. Like we just in order to do that to survive, but we can't just increase our price. We have to increase our quality, and that's why we increased the quality of our manuals, of our slipcases, and a bonus item that we don't usually talk about has also been upgraded as well. And you will see it immediately when you get. And we did it for Series 3. Like we took a cut on Series 3. We're like we're gonna take a little bit of a hit because it's a little more expensive to do this, but let's do it on Series 3 so people can really see the quality. And if you have Series 1 and 2 and then you look at Series 3, it's night and day. People are starting to talk to us like, can you reprint 1 and 2, like Series 1 and 2, slip covers and stuff so we can make them all
That's
uniform?
fun. Yeah,
Because
I'll have to look because I have one from 1, and then I have one from 3 coming because I have Mighty Fight from the retro edition coming.
you will notice a big difference.
That's like the one thing I pay attention to though is like packaging.
Well, I don't know if it'll come through and you can hear it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's the cardboard. For you guys that can see, you can see the thickness
Ooh.
on it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
That's like a legit book
like-
binding.
Yeah,
type
it's
of
like
deal.
it gives me like
a
Criterion vibes. Like
You can see the
Criterion
foil.
Collection.
You can see the matte finish, how the shine. So we went ahead and updated and upgraded because we said we can't just increase. We really want to up the quality because we're a premium edition, right? We have
Right.
to stand up to that name, and we want our standard editions, our premium standard editions, to be like mini collector's editions, and you really feel like you're getting something special.
Now, was that a big pivot for you guys to do for the 3?
Thankfully, we didn't print them first, so we were able to do a pivot. But we're always looking to raise the bar. That's why we're just like, oh, let's do the dog tags, and we're always looking into different things we could do. And it's not going to be like, all right, that's it, we're done. We're still going to continue to look. But we said we got to do it for Series 3 so people can see what we have. Because it's one thing to just be like, oh, trust us, it's better. It's another thing for people to say, no, you can really tell. You can see the difference. You could feel the difference. And that's one of the reasons, like with the deluxes, we love the deluxes. They are beautiful, but we didn't have one in Series 3. We don't have one in Series 4. It's because of that freight shipping. We don't want people to wait a year for a game. Plus, the manuals, the guides have to be written too. But it's like 4 or 5 months just to freight ship. Maybe even 6 months if it's behind. Like that's a long time to wait for people to wait for games, and we don't want to do that. So we'll still be doing deluxes down the road, but it's one of those where it has to be right, and we want to try and get it done as early as possible so we have as minimal wait time.
As things kind of drag on with the state of the world, have you thought about bringing stuff back stateside and looking at like stateside production?
Some things are done stateside, but it's about cost. A lot of things, unfortunately, stateside is more expensive, and that would obviously make us raise our costs a little more, and we don't want to. But one of the cool things is we do some things in-house. So like the dog tags is something we do. That's something that we're able to do ourselves. So we do that in-house. It's like, hey, what we looked at that and we said, well, some of the things are outside. What can we do internally as a bonus?
Yeah.
What can we do to try and give people the benefit? And that's what we try and do.
It is definitely this like balancing act, especially in the position that you're in between what do you send out and what do you try to do within, and kind of balancing that pro versus cons. And my personal opinion is that in the next like 15 to 20 years, manufacturing stateside is going to get cheaper, and it's going to become because we're going to have the technology and to do things more efficiently at home, where we can lower our prices and compete against China and those likes who are going to increase their prices and still take forever to ship to us.
Hey, I hope you're right. And if that's the case, then in 15 years, we'll be sitting here having a conversation and go, hey,
Yeah.
guess what? Everything stays that. No, it's not just about the cost, it's about the quality. I'll tell you this, our slip covers from Series 1 and 2 were printed stateside. Now we up the quality, but it's overseas. So it's costing us a little more to ship, but the quality is so much better. So.
Right. I back like a lot of Kickstarters and stuff like that for D&D terrain, and it was like so delayed, beyond normal delay. Like they were always delayed, but it was like just even beyond that delayed. And then like right as they were getting to the end of it, like getting the stuff shipped over and receiving the containers, one of their containers went into the ocean because the ship like had containers just fall off the ship. So it's like they're like, we don't know. They're like, they sent an email and they're like, hey, you know, like we're working on fulfilling your order. It may have been on the ship, and the ship just lost like 20 containers. So we don't know until the ship arrives whether or not your order is on the ship or in the water. So fortunately, they weren't impacted with that particular thing, but somebody was. Somebody's stuff was on that in those containers. And I know the accidents aren't frequent with container ships, but the more we kind of overload them to try to compensate for all of the delays, the more you're going to see accidents and stuff like the Suez Canal with the Evergreen going sideways. Like you're just going to start seeing that stuff as we get, because we're trying to move faster, and when you move fast, you make mistakes.
That's why we always ask our customers just to please be patient, and we're very
Yeah.
appreciative for them being patient, because there's certain things that are just out of our control. You know, I wish I could even show you Series 3 right now. I don't even have a copy of Series 3 myself yet.
'Cause that's the one thing that as a consumer I like being communicated with and getting that email that says, hey guys, a bunch of containers just went into the ocean, we're sorry, versus just not knowing and having it being delayed.
Communication is so important with any company, and that's something that at Premium we really try and do. So we have multiple avenues of communication. We have our mailing list, first and foremost. We have our Discord. We have our social media, all platforms. We've got a text list where you can actually text in to opt in for text alerts. We've got our Premium Playcast, where at the beginning of every episode we give the latest updates. We've got Twitch going every week, where we give updates on Twitch. We really try and do as much as possible when it comes to updating, and with shipping, we will let people know what's happening. Series 3 got a little more delayed than we were expecting because we switched warehouses, and we're like, is a Series 3 going to ship from the old warehouse or the new warehouse? And we wound up doing it to the new warehouse, so it had to arrive at the old warehouse first because all that stuff was already shipped, and then we had to then take it and then transport it to the new one, and the old one was in Texas and the new one's in North Carolina, so it wasn't like they were right next to each other. But we're shifting things over. We're in a transition period, so we've just been asking people, it's gonna happen, just please be a little patient. They're done, they're just gonna be shipped out.
And your warehouse in North Carolina is where everything gets married up? Is that where everything gets combined and packaged and stuff like that?
That's where everything is packed up now, except for the retail case. The retail case is still packed up in Texas. So
Okay.
the retail case itself isn't going to be in Texas, and then that's going to be shipped over to North Carolina, where it's going to go into the slipcase and shrink wrapped, and where the retro editions are going to be built, shrink wrapped, and then shipped out to everywhere.
But ultimately, in like a non-transition period, everything goes to North Carolina, and then the North Carolina staff put it together, then ship it out from there.
Yep.
Do you guys go down to the warehouse at any regularity, or
we have
'cause I
team
know
members?
you are not in North
I'm
Carolina.
not in North Carolina. We have team members in North Carolina, and they handle the warehouse. So they've got their own staff, and they're monitoring it. And at any time, like one of us has gone there to just check it out. As we're building this, and we're working on establishing it. Absolutely, yeah. It's one of the things we probably should have done from the start, because we get to control things if we have the warehouse ourselves, and we didn't. And that was it created a new middleman, because
So this is not a 3PL. This is a premium edition warehouse.
Yeah.
Ah, well, that's good. Yeah, because I'm sure like dealing with like another person, another company, like shipping all of your stuff to another company who then packs and then ships, and then you're really then relying on another company to actually deliver the product to you, because you have to trust UPS or FedEx or USPS.
And if something happens, I do customer service. One of the things I do at Premium.
Yeah.
So people reach out to me, and then I have to reach out to them and say, hey, this is what happened. Can you send out a replacement and all that stuff? So it just creates a daisy chain. And I'll still have to reach out to somebody, but it'll be internal employees as opposed to another company this time.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, if you're not running the warehouse, you have no idea where the thing was damaged.
Yep.
Right? Because it could have come in damaged from the manufacturer, and the 3PL employees could have been like, whatever, I don't care, I'm just shipping it out. Like, it's not my product. And they ship it out, and then it could have been damaged by UPS, but nobody knows, right? Because it's just damaged. I mean, there's like investigation that you can do to determine like where the damage probably came from, and if it was a manufacturing issue, it was probably on multiple cases. But regardless, it's easier if you own the warehouse, because then you can quality check it on its way in and quality check it on its way out.
Yeah, so we're trying to streamline things, and I think that's something that happens a lot of times with startups. You start up and you make mistakes. You learn as you go, just with anything you're doing. So, there's mistakes we made in Series 1, there's mistakes we made in Series 2, and we're learning from them, and we're adapting and growing. Like Series 1, we didn't do the lot check with Super Blood Hockey until after the pre-orders were done, and Super Blood Hockey was rejected, and it took 2 months to get Super Blood Hockey just approved, and the game has to be approved through lot check before we can submit any art assets for approval. So the reason the series even happened to begin with, because Series 1, Super Blood Hockey went out, and then a couple months later, Pigeon Dev went out. The idea was we were going to do Super Blood Hockey and Pigeon Dev. We were going to try and get them manufactured at the same time. But Super Blood Hockey kept hitting this, brick wall. Meanwhile, Pigeon Dev got passed. And we're like, well, what do? We can't get Super Blood Hockey through, but that one's already up and Pigeon Dev is ready to go. So we said, well, let's just open up Pigeon Dev and start getting orders on that, at least this way. And because we want to order at the same time, because you kind of save a little bit if you order more in bulk. So it took 2 months for Super Blood Hockey to finally get through, and then we pushed them both through. We pushed all the assets and ordered them both together, and they both arrived together, and we shipped them out together. And it was like, maybe we should just, instead of doing one and other, a stagger, let's just do a series. And that's why Series 2, 3, and 4 all together. That's the reason. But it was a learning thing, and now it's like, all right, we need to do lot check beforehand. Like Wonderling and Rainier Parade, those lot checks are done. They're the art assets are in. Like, we've learned a little bit.
Yeah, you can't progress without fail. Like, we're all human. We're going to make mistakes, and we need to learn from our mistakes. If you don't learn from your mistakes, that's where the failing is. I don't view mistakes as failure if you learn from mistakes. I view them as failures if you don't learn from mistakes.
You want to learn, because we all make mistakes. And it's really crazy, this business, because when we started, none of us had really any experience. We're like, we're going in this blind, let's see what happens. So we've learned a lot going forward. And it's really interesting to see the steps and seeing how we're streamlining. And I think the last piece of the puzzle is the warehouse. Because we want full control over it. We want to, really have that level of quality. And I think once that's streamlined in, we're good to go forward. And one of the things that annoyed people, and this is a true story, and we're so sorry about it, the warehouse that we were using only was able to communicate with Shopify, which is our storefront. Our storefront is Shopify.
Right.
Only be able to communicate through them for 45 days. So what does that mean? That means if an order is over 45 days old, that any changes in Shopify, the warehouse doesn't see those changes. So if someone changed an address, for example, and they changed it in Shopify, it didn't matter. I still had to email the warehouse. The warehouse now had to change it. On the reverse end, the warehouse couldn't communicate with Shopify past 45 days. So since these are all pre-orders, when those orders shipped, the tracking numbers would not auto update, and people was still to this day will email say, why is my order unfulfilled? I got it. Like, oh, because that's what happened. Or people say, I didn't get tracking and it just showed up. That's why. Because with Series 1, we had to go in thousands of orders and manually update one by one with the tracking from the warehouse. It was a pain in the butt.
It's obnoxious.
And we did it again with Series 2, and we're just like, this is a lot of extra work and a lot of time that we're just back and forth. That should be automated. So having control over our warehouse, we're using Shopify directly for Series 3. So that means we're taking all those addresses right in Shopify, using those to print, and it's auto updating Shopify, so people will get emails and stuff. And we're like, thank you.
And you're not locked out.
Not locked out. So like, these are things you learn as a company. You may not necessarily realize, or you may not even think about, like, oh, am I going to expect my warehouse and my storefront to talk to each other? And lo and behold, that doesn't always work. And I think that's because of scams. Like, Shopify doesn't want outside users to influence it after so many times. And
right, yeah.
So it's one of those things where most people understood, but we still get the occasional email like, oh, I didn't get tracking, what's going on? And we always say, like, if you need an update, just email. I'm happy to check on your order and say like, all right, here's the status of it, whatever. Like we're happy to do that. We're happy to help our customers in any way. Just bear with us with our growing pains as we adapt to make things easier and more streamlined for everybody.
Yeah, no, but I think it's all good stuff, especially with the way the market continues going forward with the interest in collecting games, like physical copies of games.
Oh yeah.
We're already seeing, the market's been hot for the last 5-6 years now, and it's probably going to continue to be hot for a while in the future. So your premium edition game is just going to go up in value as long as you don't open it.
But you need to open it, then you'll never get the challenge.
You guys still got to open it for another reason, because if you open it on camera, don't you get something special?
That's true. So if you open it on camera, all our releases, you get the unboxing patch. So you take a video of yourself opening it up, submit that to social media, send us an email with the link and your address and all that. We will send you an unboxing patch per series. So Series 3 has its own patch, Series 2 and 1 had their own patch, and Series 4 will have a brand new different patch. And the Classic Series is going to have a different patch.
Lots of patches.
That's the idea.
I got to get a jean jacket.
Cover it with patches.
That's what I got.
You should buy 2 premium edition games, one to open and film, and then the other to keep on your shelf and to stare at.
We've absolutely had people do that.
Do you want to remind everybody again, since we've started with Series 4 and we then diverged and went along some tangents, and now let's go back to Series 4. So this episode should be airing, I think, the day after the opening of Series 4, which is much earlier than the previous Indie Dev Lounge, which aired 2 days before it closed. Now we're 1 day after opening. So
Right.
if you're listening to this episode, you have plenty of time, unless you are listening to this episode in July.
Yeah, so the pre-orders open on May 10th and they will close on June 10th. And the standard premiums are open pre-order for both Wonderling DX and Rain in Your Parade. The retro editions are limited to 500 available on the webpage for each of those. So if those sell out, they sell out. There are additional copies of those that are sent to distributors. So we do have some distribution partners, so they will get their versions as well. But it's not a lot more than the 500 that we already having on the webpage.
Are the dog tags only with the ones from your website, not from the
Correct.
distributors?
Dog tags are exclusive. There are extra way of saying thank you for the direct support, and we're doing some cool stuff with the dog tags. We want to see you wear them and enjoy them.
And if I wanted to know more, you mentioned earlier the different ways of hearing from you guys. Do you want to just go through with your socials?
So obviously premiumeditiongames.com to purchase the stuff as well as to get information. And on the webpage, you can sign up for our mailing list, and I highly recommend you do, so you get all our news blasts and updates. We also have on the webpage, you can listen, or on all podcast avenues, you can listen to the Premium Playcast, where we will give updates, the latest updates, and in-depth stuff, exclusive stuff that we'll do just there at the beginning of every episode. So you don't have to listen to the rest of it. You can just listen to the update. We also have social media. So we have, Facebook, Instagram is at Premium Edition Games, and Twitter is at Premium Edition 1. Check out there. We do updates. We have links on the webpage for our Discord. We have a Discord community, just a truly wonderful community. So feel free to join there. We'll do updates, and you could always ask questions. You could also ask questions at support@premiumeditiongames.com. So feel free to email away. We have on the webpage, you can see we have the phone opt-in if you want text alerts of, when things go up or new updates are out. We really try and do a lot to give people updates. And then every Wednesday we do Twitch streams at 7 to 9. It's with Frank, and we'll play games like we're playing Series 4 games right now, and just hanging out with that and showing things off. So we'll also give updates and make announcements. My personal Twitter, if you want to follow me, it's at Hawk Hellfire, and always game for talking stuff. And we do have one other announcement, actually.
Ooh, a special announcement for just the Classic Gaming Brothers.
Well, it's not just for you guys, but it was just it's made as of this moment, as of this time of recording. But just for those listening, if anyone listens that's in Canada or first off worldwide, I do want to say one of the biggest complaints we got early on was that our international shipping was high, and our international shipping was just using USPS. We weren't making anything on it. But we've done research and we found a way to lower international shipping. So for all international listeners, our international shipping on our webpage is absolutely lower and significantly lower. So
that's great.
So we wanted to reach out. It was one of the biggest complaints. So that's something. If you're in Canada, this applies to you too. But one of the biggest questions we got was, are you going to go back with Video Games Plus? Are you going to go back with Video Games Plus? Because they did not carry Series 3. And, we've been having discussions back and forth, getting things situated, and I'm truly happy to say that we are, in fact, back with Video Games Plus, and they will be doing pre-orders at the same time as us. So you can you won't get the dog tag from them. And if you're in Canada, you should absolutely see what the shipping is with us, because it might even be cheaper or comparable. But if that's your avenue, some people love ordering from them and they want to build points. We heard you loud and clear. We do listen to the fans. We know that people have been wanting it and we're upset that Series 3 wasn't there. So that will be back on for everybody.
And Video Game Plus is a distributor in Canada.
Yeah, it's a distributor in Canada.
Probably, if you're in Canada and listening, which we do have Canada listeners, you would probably know. But I don't live in Canada, so I'm usually oblivious. And for our listeners who appreciate Barry's candor, I'm gonna sign him up here. He came on to talk about Series 3, and he's here now talking about Series 4. And now going forward, he'll probably be back to talk about Series 5.
Absolutely.
And Series 6 and Series 7.
Yeah. I will be on every time they want to have me on. That's what I'll say. It was always such a pleasure being here and just so much fun. And I look forward to it. I was, I set up different, appointments and different meetings to discuss because, we're in that promotion mode. We really want to get the word out.
Right.
And I was like, I forget what day is what. And I'm just like, oh, who's that? I'm like, oh my God, yes. Like I was like, yes, it's tonight. All right, cool. Like I was so excited because like you guys are really early this time. Like you mentioned, like we just announced the direct on Monday. It's Wednesday recording. I was on a show last night that's not going to air until next week. But this is really early. This is like, all the excitement's there. And I'm like, oh, good. I'm so glad I get to talk to you guys early this time as opposed to late because it's building that excitement, You were one of the first people to be like, I want early time. Let's do it.
Yeah, for sure. It's better to give people more lead time, I guess, versus blasting at them at the last minute. But
absolutely.
Yeah, so look for more premium edition lounges, I guess. the dev lounges.
Still got to come back and talk Megaducks too,
Yeah, we're gonna get you on for Megaduck.
Barry will probably be a guest spot in a future upcoming episode where we talk about Megaducks. Multiple Megaducks. It's actually going to turn into an avian podcast. That we're gonna do. Perhaps Barry will be on in a guest host role instead of a premium edition representative. So he'll be on as Barry instead of Barry from Premium Edition Games.
Absolutely.
So with that, everyone, we would also like to remind you that we're available on wherever podcasts are available to listen to. You can follow us on all of our social medias. We are Classic Gaming Brothers at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. And we're CG Brothers Pod on Twitter. And finally, if you can send in any comments, complaints, or anything like that, you can email us at classicgamingbrothers@gmail.com. And Zach, is there anything else that I'm missing?
Yeah, don't play games like my brother.
And don't play games like my brother.
And don't play games like them, because apparently they just can't play games.
It's true. Oh. It's true. I've been Zach.
I've been Seth.
And I'm Barry.
And yeah, we've been the Classic Gaming Brothers and Barry. Woohoo!
Yeah. Were you going to say something different?
No, I don't know what I was going to say.